Was the British Empire's real power its navy or its bureaucracy? The British Empire and its real power, navy, bureaucracy. Well, you see, it is naval power, sea power, that made the British Empire possible. Without sea power, the British Empire would never have existed. So it all started with piracy. Queen Elizabeth, she was the patron of pirates. She funded piracy in the Atlantic and beyond. At that time, the British Navy was not very capable. So they relied on guerrilla tactics. They had these privateers, pirates, who would engage in slave trade and whatnot, and theft and piracy. But eventually, the British Navy got better, and it is this naval power that made the British Empire possible. So without the naval power, there was no British Empire. So the naval power made the British Empire possible, but bureaucracy made it durable, long lived, and governable. Right? So the British started acquiring territories slowly in various parts of the world. So the Navy was the foundation of this expansion of the British footprint and eventual global reach of Britain. And then they had to administer the territories that they had occupied. So the Portuguese were not good at this, but the British, they demonstrated they were really good at this. So they had to create an administrative machine, an imperial administrative machine that would turn the capture of a territory into long lasting control and revenue through extraction by various means. Right? So the British Navy, its job was to secure the control of sea lanes and trade routes. Its job was to protect merchant shipping, the ships that would be transporting all the plundered resources from India, for example. Okay, so the British Royal Navy, it protected this merchant shipping. It secured the control of the sea lanes, and through this, it enabled Britain to project its power globally. So today you have the US that projects power globally through its network of extraterritorial bases and the US Navy. Well, the British did the exact same thing. The British Navy did the same thing during the British Empire. So that was the role of the British Navy, and the naval supremacy of the British. It allowed the British to blockade their enemies. It gave the British the power to prevent any invasion of the British islands. Without the home base, what do you do? And the Navy also supported campaigns that captured territories like Canada, like India. So the primary strategic asset of the rise of the British Empire was the British Navy. But once these territories were acquired, the British used imperial institutions, the civil services, the Indian civil service, for example. These institutions, they converted the territory and the raw power of the British into systems of authority, of governance, tax collection, law, etc. Right? And over time, the British developed elaborate techniques, administrative techniques, like writing the law, codifying the law for a colony, uh, civil services that are based on merit, and so on. So by doing this allowed a small number of officials to manage huge populations and huge territories for long periods of time. So that's the situation. The bureaucracy was very important. It was very important for the British. The naval power always came first, but the bureaucracy became the main instrument of everyday domination. So when you have moments of military success, those moments of military success have to be converted into long-term rule over a territory. So the naval power did that. It had these moments of naval success, but then the bureaucracy, its job was to control and administer the territory which was captured. Its job was to extract the resources. It was to enforce the rule long after the battles were over. So the British Empire's real power, it was the interaction between naval power in the frontiers of the empire, and the bureaucracy in the interior of the empire.